So trading pays me almost a full-time salary in addition to what I also do on the side.
A company that wants to raise money will create shares and list them on the exchange, and that will then be able to allow investors to acquire those shares.
My whole idea of even wanting to help people in the stock market is because I noticed the Kenyan community, they don't trade.
If you want to go to real estate, you don't have to actually send money to buy property. Just buy units in our real estate fund. Okay, right now that fund has got a portfolio of almost 4 billion shares. So we have a gold fund here that allows investors to acquire gold and enjoy the benefits of gold. If instead of buying the actual gold, you can buy a unit in gold. So it gives you a share of the gold that's kept in the vault.
Crypto, some people really they don't believe in cryptocurrencies. They're like, it's a scam, it's this. But guess what? Bitcoin moved from $500 to $50,000. So I own Bitcoin, I have Dogecoin, I have Ethereum, Litecoin, all of them.
In our continuing series of how to make some extra income this January, we bring you a story of Doreen Selly, a Kenyan entrepreneur based in the US who deals in Forex trading. As you may know, foreign exchange is one of the most actively traded markets in the world, with an average daily trading volume of $5 trillion US. Yes, 5 trillion. Hello and welcome to Diaspora Life, a show that inspires, educates, challenges, and highlights key stories of Kenyans in the diaspora. Have you ever been in a fix, needed money so bad that the only way for you to make that money is to work? Well, here is Doreen and how she helped her friend recover from financial distress through virtual trading in the stocks.
Yes, so my name is Doreen Selly. I am a mother. I'm also an entrepreneur. I do investments. I also do e-commerce. I have a shoe line, DorianSellyShoes.com. And I'm a Kenyan. And I just love working with people, especially virtually. So, of course, COVID has really affected a lot of people. And this particular lady, Terry, approached me because it's like, I think the job ended. I'm not sure what really happened. And so she could not afford to pay, I think it was her mortgage. And I think she was given some ultimatums or whatever, and she had to come up with like $20,000. So she reached out to me on Facebook and asked me, how can I come up with that? What can I do to make that? And I told her, you might want to try trading stocks, specifically options. We have this strategy, we call it trade of the day, where you focus on one stock in the morning, you make your money and then you get out of the market. So we trade between 9:30 and 9:45. So she started that in May, and she was able, by now she already has like $29,000 in a matter of under 3 months.
All right, so in the morning when we wake up, I have my watch list right here. On the stocks I usually check on the daily. So I go to my watch list there. I can filter with the stocks that are doing well pre-market, and I'll filter here with the change from top. And it seems like the market was red today. So if I find one that I like, I'll just click in. The first thing I'm going to start, look at the daily chart to see what the trend is. The trend is down right here. So any trade I'm going to be taking on this particular stock, it has to be shorting the market or puts. So if you go long on this stock, you're gonna lose because the trend is down. And from there, just check my entries depending on the time frame that I want, and then I get in. You have to check on the sector it's in. So maybe if you're looking at Tesla, and Tesla is in NASDAQ. So if NASDAQ is not doing good that day, definitely it might affect Tesla. So if I'm looking at Zoom right now, and Zoom is in NASDAQ, and on the daily chart, it shows me we're still on a downward trend, but we're sitting at a 50 moving average support. So this could be a nice trade to play intraday on the shorter time frame. So on a 10-minute time frame, I can look for multiple entries here.
Trading, my brother introduced me to it, and I started with the futures market. You know, the futures market is the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow. And I used to trade that. That is a very volatile type of investment. I traded and I lost money doing the futures market because I didn't really know what I was doing. So I had to really go back and learn how to read the support lines, the resistance, the trend lines. And then now I got back like 5 years ago into the stock market, and it has just been up from there. It's a side gig that is also paying me as a full-time. I'm self-employed. I do logistics, transportation here. So I mix that with trading. So trading pays me almost a full-time salary in addition to what I also do on the side. Everything is moving to virtual. Everything will be virtual, and surprising, people are becoming very productive at home. Like, we used to think you can't really do stuff at home, and people are becoming productive and getting a lot of money virtually doing things that are doing on the computer. So most people don't want to meet face to face anymore because of the COVID scare. And very soon, everything will just shift into virtual. So my whole idea of even wanting to help people in the stock market is because I noticed the Kenyan community, they don't trade. And I wondered, why do the Kenyans don't trade in the stock market? And I noticed, number one, people are scared to lose their money. And number two, people don't know what they're doing. So I started this basic training of teaching people how to read the charts. You just look at the charts and you find what's the support of that particular stock you're looking at. Like for me, I focus on innovative stocks. So things that have a very good future, like SPCE was, Tesla, Amazon, Apple. If you find it at the right base, we call it a zone, a support zone, you can buy that and ride that stock up to the resistance area. And you can see it on the chart if you look support and resistance. And you make good money. It's a lot of money, especially because of the compounding interest that most people are not used to. So it all depends. If you're the risky type, you can do options. With options, you can lose a lot of money too if you don't know what you're doing because of the time decay factor, where if the stock doesn't hit your strike price by a certain date, you can lose your money. In that case, if you're doing options, you don't need that much capital. $1,000 can get you started. Like the lady I posted on Facebook started with $1,000 and she's at $29,000 right now. But if you are that person who's afraid to lose your money, or you're at an age where you cannot really gamble too much with your money, like if you're at 45, 50, 55, then I tell you, do it the conservative route of buying shares of stocks. And you might need a little bit more capital to see the difference. Like for instance, if you got into a stock called Baidu, right? Baidu, and you only got 2,000 shares. If the stock was at $185 at that time, and it moves to $200, you have $170 profit, and you only spent $2,000. Then you keep reinvesting it. The problem we have is people think this is a get-rich-quick scheme.
Uh-huh.
They come here, you put a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. So I always tell people, don't be greedy. Don't think you're gonna come here, put 2,000 and get 10,000 in one day. No.
Start slow.
Start slow, build it slowly by slowly. So I have a community, we call it Investments and Beyond. Most of the people there, they're into 9 to 5. They only have 10 minutes in the morning to trade before they go to work. So we have this trade of the day. We take the trades between 9:30 and 9:45, and then you're done for the day. And I tell people, focus on $100 a day. Don't go there saying, I want $7,000 every day. No, You come in, you get one contract of the option, you make $50. But the game changes a little bit as you start learning the tricks that we teach you inside the community. Now you can bump your contracts. So instead of getting one contract of an option, which is 100 shares, you can now get 5 contracts, which is 500 shares. And if the stock moves 1 point, you have $500. So that's where the game changes with options. But if you're somebody, you don't have time at all to sit on the computer between 9 and 9:45 in the morning, then I would just tell you to do swing trading. Become an investor where you buy a stock at support, like Apple. When Apple was at 125, you buy that and you hold it up to 145. That's still good money.
So let's assume nimekuja nakupatia a few of my dollars. So the first thing, what's the first thing that you do? You need from me?
So first things, I don't trade for people. I teach you how to trade.
Okay.
And you're gonna come in, you're gonna sign up in our to join our community. That's the cheapest way to do it, and it's investmentsandbeyond.com. Once you come in, you join our Discord chat room, and then from there, you will just look for the alerts that we post there every single day.
Okay.
Like right here is a trade of the day. Today was football. Yesterday, this is another trade of the day. On Thursday was Zoom. People made a lot of money on that, close to $3,000 on some people. From there, we have a community course where you're gonna learn how to start trading as a beginner. And the first thing I tell you is to do paper trading. Paper trading, if you open an account with Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, they allow you to do paper trading so that you don't lose your real hard-earned money. Once you nail paper trading to a T, like 10 days of paper trading, and you do it well, then you now go to a live trading.
Okay.
And with the live trading, I tell you just do one contract at a time. Once you get that and you do it consistently, making at least 20% profit on each trade, then you can bump your contracts from there.
Crypto is all about digital currencies, and believe you me, 10 years from now, remember how the internet, people didn't believe in the internet in when it came out. When was that? 2010 or something? And some people were just abusing it, and they're like, there's nothing really that's going to happen from an internet. And right now, it's the life, right? Same thing with currencies. Crypto, some people really they don't believe in cryptocurrencies. They're like, it's a scam, it's this. But guess what? Bitcoin moved from $500 to $50,000 just recently, before it went down again, because of all these, countries, they're trying to put some little limits on cryptos. But cryptocurrency is the future of currencies. You can already see with Cash App, M-Pesa, people don't really exchange cash anymore. We use our phone to send the money. It's the same thing with cryptos. You have somebody wallet, you can send them money, you can transact.
Like M-Pesa?
Just like M-Pesa, completely. Tesla, you can buy their vehicles with Bitcoin now. So it has its little rough patches because they're really regulating it right now. But so far, PayPal, they've already accepted it. Bank of America has already accepted.
I have Bank
crypto.
of America, and I didn't even know that.
They have. I follow cryptos a whole lot. So I own Bitcoin, I have Dogecoin, I have Ethereum, Litecoin, all of them. Lack of trust. The problem I notice between Kenyans in diaspora and Kenyans in Kenya is the systems. Transparency here in the US is big. Like, everything is black and white. There are no gray areas. In Kenya, we have so many gray areas. Somebody can be telling you one thing and that it's another thing. So I feel like most people are scared of that. And it all depends if you do your due diligence, because that's the basic place you start with, doing your due diligence. I really think there's a lot we can do in Kenya. I really think we can build homes, apartments. We can give employments to our people in Kenya. But at the same time, Some people think there are no opportunities that you can really invest in the US. There are so many opportunities here too. Real estate, just basic homes for tax lien homes, like in Alabama. A very beautiful house with a tax lien, you can get it for like $400 and rent that for $500 a month. Just up to you what your preference is as far as investments and your risk tolerance.
So apart from this trading on the stocks, Kenyans can also invest at home, here back in the US.
Yes, here in the US, real estate is big, especially if you get into the tax lien homes. Check that out in areas like Texas, Alabama. They have good homes that you can make residual income. That's the goal. Residual income, let your money work for you, as you also, even if you're doing your 9 to 5, at least you have your money working for you somewhere else.
Lastly, Doreen, with somebody watching you from Nairobi or Kenya right now, and they want to invest in the stocks in the US, is that viable? Is that possible?
They have brokerage right now, like Interactive Brokers, eToro, who are opening up the market to outsiders in Kenya, Qatar, and all that. So you might have to check, first register to see if you can be approved to do that. And I think their minimum starting point is like 10,000 shillings, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really looked deeply into it, but I know there's some people who trade in my community from Kenya, and they use Interactive Brokers. Kenyans are not doing stocks at all, but that was my goal. When I started the community, my whole goal was I want to help the Kenyan people, Kenyan community get into the stock market and become successful doing it. It's one thing to come in and you get lucky, you find a good stock with a lot of news and you make money, but building wealth, you have to know what you're doing and you have to spend some time learning how to do trading. And I guess everybody can do it. So we really should do trading, all of us.
I know some of you are still uncertain if you can take this route, but I also know many people who are making a kill out of this smart online trading. As Nicola Yoon once put it, everything is a risk. Not doing anything is a risk, so it's up to you. Remember, you can write to us through Diaspora Life at standardmedia.co.ke if you have any stories that you'd like us to cover. Over to you, Chris.
Today, you've heard more about how Kenyans living abroad are trying to make money on the internet, especially through the stock market. We're here at the NSE. We're speaking to the CEO, Geoffrey Odundo.
My name is Geoffrey Odundo. I'm the Chief Executive of the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I've been in this role for the last 7 years, and it's been a very transformative journey because the mandate I had when I was hired for this role was to really transition the company from a service-oriented organization to a commercial organization.
That's right.
And offering a wide array of products. And I'm happy to say that we've completed the journey of product development, and now we are actually focusing on getting investors and enhancing uptake of the same products.
So basically, for those somebody watching you for the first time and wondering what the NSE is all about, what would you say the basic functionalities of NSE?
So the Nairobi Securities Exchange, or the NSE, and I think I'll use the NSE going forward, is basically a market. So it's a market infrastructure that allows investors to acquire stocks or shares in companies, and issuers to actually list their shares in the market, so that at the end of the day, a company that wants to raise money will create shares and list them on the exchange, and that will then be able to allow investors to acquire those shares through the exchange.
So of course you're the CEO, so I'm very sure you have a sense of how many companies are listed on the NSE.
Yes.
Just a rough estimate.
So we have 60 companies and 2 securities. The 2 securities are and what you call an exchange traded fund,
That's right.
which is basically a unitized fund.
Yeah.
And then we have got a real estate investment trust, which is basically a unitized fund as well, but
Yeah.
which invests in real estate.
Yeah.
So the other one, the ETF, is basically a unitized fund that invests in any other asset. So somebody has actually issued gold, or rather purchased gold, and stored it in a vault in London,
Yeah.
and then created units out of that are tradable on the exchange. It's called an exchange traded fund. So we have a gold fund here that allows investors to acquire gold and enjoy the benefits of gold. If instead of buying the actual gold, you can buy a unit in gold. So it gives you a share
Yes.
of the gold that's kept in the vault.
The Kenyans abroad really want to invest in their country back at home, because all of us, we always think at some point we shall go back home. The issue has been the issue of information. From your team, are you able to really get the kind of participation from the diaspora on the local Nairobi exchange, especially the Securities exchange?
Yes. So we have a majority of the traders on our market, or participants in the market, are largely institutional funds. Speaking about international funds, family office funds, pension funds, global funds that have been established by investment banks. Those are the ones that trade here, almost 60%.
Okay.
Then another 30% is the local pension funds. The individual retail is about 10%. Now that's where we have an issue. That's where we have to really build knowledge. If you break down that retail, what diaspora contribute, we've never been able to determine that because it's highly negligible.
Yeah.
I think we need to really find a way of tracking that flow and seeing how that level of participation is growing. So there is an opportunity for us to really work hard to get the Kenyan diaspora to actually invest a lot at home, because we have products that are highly relevant. If you want to go to real estate, you don't have to actually send money to buy property. Just buy units in our real estate fund. Okay, right now that fund has got a portfolio of almost 4 billion shillings. Now, with 4 billion shillings, you can actually be able to participate, and it's highly discounted because the unit value of that fund is now 20 shillings.
Yeah.
It's trading at 6 shillings in the market. So you're buying in at a very high discount, and it's invested in commercial property, it's invested in a mall, it's invested in office blocks, and it's growing to other assets. So why would I want to actually get a tenant, manage a tenant, get the rent? Sometimes the rent is not paid on time. Let all this be done by a professional fund, and all I receive is actually my equivalent of 80% at a minimum of the rental income. So that's the kind of products we've created for investors to invest in.
That's all we had time for you today. I have been your host, Pasil Telewa, and I want to thank you for watching Diaspora Life. Join us again next week and every Friday at 8 p.m. on KTN News for amazing stories of Kenyans living abroad. If you have a story you'd like us to cover, please DM us on our social media platforms at diaspora_life, at Pasil Telewa, or email diasporalife@standardmedia.co.ke. Have a lovely week and see you soon.